my asshole for choosing my boyfriend over my best friend. I was best friends with this girl throughout middle school and high school, and let's call her Britt. I'd get really excited when we had class together. Another one of my friends, Kate, was in this class too. I suggested that Kate join our duo and make a trio. Soon, the three of us did everything together. Not long after that, my boyfriend, we'll call him Jake, and I started dating. He and I started hanging a lot because of our new relationship. When we started dating, Kate and Britt got really close. Britt then got a boyfriend who she never met in person. She would get mad at me for talking about my boyfriend. After that, Britt and Kate would only invite me to go out if they couldn't drive anywhere, and if we wanted to get food. They would always forget their wallets, so I had to pay. To the point where they'd also make plans in front of me. I was absolutely miserable, so I moved lunch tables away from Britt, because due to COVID. It was just the two of us at the table, and I asked the teacher in class if I could move away from them as well. This, of course, led them to say things like I was annoying and that they had been trying to get rid of me. And that I'm only pretty enough to do things with and not to date, and much worse. So am I the asshole?
The asshole for refusing to drop charges against a 16-year-old? My brother, 17 male, lives with me, 25 female, and my husband, 26 male, since both our parents passed away in an accident last February. He's a great kid, but losing our parents made him quiet and a sad young boy. I've tried to encourage him to attend therapy so he can work on his grief, but he has refused every single time, telling me that he's not ready yet. I get it, everyone works at their own pace, and as long as he's not deliberately hurting himself, I won't pressure him. I try to be as involved in his life as I can be without it being overwhelming. We do movie nights, enjoy TV shows, and he even helps my husband with his old car. Before our parents' passing, my brother had a girlfriend 16, and after the funeral, he decided to break up with her. The asshole for refusing to drop charges against a 16-year-old? My brother decided that being in a relationship wasn't what he needed at the time and broke up with her. Totally valid. She didn't take it good and was sure that my brother only needed some love to heal. Last month, she began to drop letters and gifts to our door, and my brother refused to open them every time. She used to message and call him too, and I could see the distress on my brother's face. The last thing happened last Friday. It was my brother's birthday, and my husband and I decided to take him out. We got back, he went to his room, and as soon as he did, he came down running. She arranged his room with photos of him with her, their friends, and our family, and put some balloons and was waiting for him with a cake. While my husband entertained her, I called the police and they took her for trespassing private property.
Hey guys, let me tell you about how my mom caught me smoking in our house. So this was the beginning of quarantine and I was already a smoker, but at that point it wasn't nowhere to go in the beginning of quarantine. So I used to just go smoke early in the morning outside, and then I smoked during the day if I needed to downstairs. So in my basement, it's about like 4 rooms. So like 4 like bedroom typey vibes, but one of them is supposed to be one of our guest rooms soon. But it's not put together. So I would sit in there and I would smoke. Now, one day my mom teaches like classes for people to like start their, you don't want to hear, nursing homes. And one day I was downstairs in that guest room. Little did I know that room was directly over top. So while mom was teaching the class, she could hear me keep starting the lighter up. Mind you, it's like 9 a.m. at this point. I am dead wrong, but that's how I like to start my day, okay? So her class is it's like 9 a.m. to like 2 p.m. So I'm feeling nice by the time she finally goes to the basement and sees it. So she goes downstairs, and I guess she's snooping around trying to figure out like what's going on in her home. Now she goes down there, she smells it. Why did you go to my little sister's room? My sister's 7 years younger than me. My little sister is like 14, 15 at this time. And she asked my sister, were you smoking downstairs? My sister was like, what? No. And then she comes in my room and asks me, y'all, when I say I looked at her like, and then she's like, why would you smoke? And I was just like, and then she was like, you know, that's not all this extra stuff. Mind you, save it. Because the way I was feeling, y'all was wanting me to be a little incoherent. Because god dang, I almost cussed everybody in this house a few times. So after she caught me, I was like, just like, all right, like whatever, but I'm gonna still smoke, but I'm gonna just smoke outside or in my car when I'm about to go somewhere. So that kind of went on, and she don't catch me, but it wasn't even a big deal the way I thought it was gonna be a big deal. But it's like, what could you have really done? Like, what could you have really done, Mom? Because if your girl want to get high, you're going to get high. But we outgrew it. I think it was like a year after she got me. That's when I finally quit smoking weed. But shoot, while I was in a mix, I was in a mix. Respect it.
So a few days ago, I went to stay in a hotel with my friends near the beach. We ended up going outside to tan for about 2 hours. Now, my friends are used to tanning, but I haven't tanned since last summer. And even then, I barely did. Because I always get sunburnt. So 2 days ago is when we were tanning, and also the same day we got home. I felt fine when we got back home. The only thing that hurt me was the intense sunburn all over my entire body. Now yesterday, I started feeling really nauseous. I ate a salad around 4 o'clock, and then around 9 o'clock I ate a bag of apples. I felt so sick I decided to take a Tylenol. Not even 3 minutes after I took the Tylenol, I ended up throwing it up. All last night I was a complete mess. My mom ended up sleeping in my bed with me just to take care of me. If you have really fair skin like me, always make sure that you put on a lot of sunblock. Because what I experienced last night and what I'm still experiencing is sun poisoning. So make sure you guys stay safe this summer, load up on the sunscreen, and just sit in the shade.
Hey babes, let me tell you about the first time I spent the night with a guy. So I was in school, we were studying together, and I think we just met on Instagram or something, and I came over and we were studying super late at night. I think I came over there around like 9 or 10, and we didn't stop studying until like 3 a.m. Mind you, we did this all the time, but he always made jokes like, you need to just spend the night, like it's too late for you to be driving. Y'all know that little spew, but I always knew it was a spew. But one day he had ended up picking me up from my house, and when we picked up from my house, he was gonna drive me back in the morning. So like I had halfway knew that like, okay, tonight's the night, I guess I have to spend the night there because like, yeah. So we're done studying and he goes to his room. Y'all, I sit in the living room for a good, I want to say, hour while he's in the room, and he's texting me like, why don't you just come in here? I was on big childish energy, but I was like 19, so like, yeah, I am a child. So I ended up realizing like, okay, I might need to go back in the room. So I go in the room. As I go back there, y'all, it is just like me and him, the TV's on, and I'm feeling very like, is this what grown-up life feels like? So I end up going on the other side of the bed, and as I'm on the other side of the bed, I'm like, okay, am I gonna touch him? Like, are we gonna share the covers? Like, what does this mean for us? So I ended up just staying on the other side, and he's like moving me over to him, and we ended up going to sleep. And then I ended up spending over there almost every single night that we spent the night. Not every single night, but like I spent it over there probably like once every week or like bi-weekly for sure. And we would just have like a great study session. We'd be up all night on Adderall, you feel me, trying to study. And then we would go to sleep. I ended up sleeping on his chest, and he's the first guy where I realized that dicks move like automatically when people are asleep, because I remember waking up one day, I looked over like, he trying to play me, like why his dick banging on my back? But you know, it was, I guess it's natural. But I ended up cutting him off. So I basically deleted his number and deleted him on all social media and his friends, because he was a Capricorn, and he was perfect when I think about the specific things like checklists I wanted in a man, but he was so emotionally and just physically unavailable until he gets to where he wants to be success-wise, which I respect, because you're not a man if you can't take care of a woman, like you're still just a boy, like, you know what I mean, growing into being a man. So I get it, but that's not what I was hitting for, wanted. And it wasn't like we were just oh so good friends where like me staying cool with him would have been a mutually beneficial relationship. But you know, that's how I spent the night with my boy.
Am I the asshole for refusing to let my stepdaughter use my daughter's wedding dress? I met my stepdaughter Zoe 2.5 years ago, and I married her father less than 5 months ago. It was a small and private celebration, since that's what we felt was the best thing to do, since I'm still grieving my daughter Lauren, who passed away from sepsis at the age of 26. She was doing okay and was getting ready for her wedding that was supposed to happen the same month she passed away. We still don't know what went wrong. I took most of her belongings, including her wedding dress. We bought it together, and she put a lot of her own touches on it. Although it hurt to look at it, I made sure it's safe. My stepdaughter Zoe is younger than Lauren. She's 23. We're not very close, and distance is one of the reasons why. The issue started when Zoe visited to talk about her wedding in April. We were talking about wedding dresses, and she suddenly brought up Lauren's wedding dress. I asked her what about it, and she said she saw it several times and it got stuck on her mind. She asked me if she could see it, and I let her. She then said she'd like to wear it at her wedding. I felt uneasy. I told her I wasn't sure that was a good idea. She told me it's fine. She'll have to change a few things in it so that it can fit her size and style, but this is why I had a hard time accepting. I told her I was sorry, but I can't let her have it. She offered me money, but its sentimental value is what matters to me. She argued, saying I was making things complicated and it was all right since she too is my daughter. She asked if I don't love her as much as my own daughter, and I told her my love for her is different, but she threw a fit, calling me unfair and unreasonable, and I still said no. Her dad got involved in the argument, saying he doesn't see why I'm against it. I declined to discuss it anymore, but they keep bringing it up, asking if my daughter would have wanted someone else to have the opportunity to wear this dress since she unfortunately couldn't. This made me so mad, I lashed out at both of them and kept saying no. Others said I had no right to act like that. What's the point of leaving the dress in the closet when my stepdaughter can make good memories in it? Am I the asshole for not wanting to give her the dress?